Alright, thought I'd come out today with the Deus and run over this parking lot out here. It's a big grass parking lot, it's kind of hard packed and whatnot. And it's at a local park. It's busy out here sometimes. We have the mini baseball fields out this way and whatnot. A lot of people come out here. So I figured I'd take the Deus out and just see what I come up with. Maybe there's something good out here. I'm sure there's probably some gold out here, but it's not an old park, so I don't expect to find any coins that are silver or anything like that. But just out of curiosity and see how it turns up. We'll play around with the Deus for a little while. All right, let's get this thing started. This is the Xp Deus 3.2. And I do want to use the onboard speaker, so I'm going to say yes. Right now I'm searching in a mode, I'm going to call it wide open is what I call it. Now I'll go through some of the settings. You can see here it's 17606 is the frequency the detector is operating on right now, and I choose that frequency because it's good for gold, small gold pieces, and earrings, whatnot. Of course, like I said, there's not a lot of silver out here, no old interesting targets, so everything interesting will be along the lines of gold and diamonds and whatnot. So let me show you the settings I have on here. Go to menu. I'm running it wide open, zero discrimination. I have the sensitivity set at 90. I can hear it chattering just a little bit. Not much. I'll back it down just a little bit more. Maybe 88. We have a little bit of EMI out here. Frequency, like I said before, 17.6. My iron volume, well, is not really relevant because I don't have any discrimination. Mirror activity is 3, which is good for very trashy areas and more along the lines of not a deep seeking setting. Now you can get pretty deep with the reactivity at 3, but you can get a lot deeper with the reactivity at say 0, but you lose some of your target separation capabilities. I think I'm gonna keep it at 3 because I'm kind of looking for speed right now. I want to stay on top of the surface. I don't want to dig very deep. We're kind of in drought conditions right now, so I definitely don't want to tear up the ground. My audio response, or my audio response is set at 0, which means that it's not going to amplify the signals at all. A deep target is going to sound very faint, and a shallow target is going to sound very loud. I don't have any notch set up, and discrimination is at 0. Now on the sensitivity, I do want to switch over to my transmitting power. I'm going to bump it down to 1 because, like I said, I'm not trying to go very deep. I just want to stay on the surface. So that's that. Let's see what it sounds like. Let me see if I can find a target. Here's a piece of aluminum over here. Let's check this out. It's just sitting right on the surface. That'll work for me. Alright, I'll crank it up when I find my first target. Alright, here's my first target. I believe it's a quarter. Let's check it out. Seems to be a little deeper than what I thought. Let's give it a shot. It's a quarter. I ran across this bottle cap here. I thought I'd take a moment to show you a little trick on the bottle caps. You can see it down there, basically. It's just sitting on the surface. But I was going to show you what happens. It sounds good at first. Of course, you know, you can set your silencer to remove some of these bottle caps, but another way you can help figure out if it's a bottle cap rather than a good target is watch the numbers when I go over it and listen to the sound. It kind of cuts out a little bit. That might convince you that it's you know, something worth digging up, but watch the numbers as I raise the coil. You see them drop down to 86, 85, and then raise up when it gets closer. That's usually a sure sign it's a bottle cap. Now, for comparison, let me put one of these quarters down here that I found. Okay, so now I have a quarter down there, and watch the numbers on the quarter. 95. Now watch as I raise up what happens. It stays at 95. So that's the difference. Here's the bottle cap. Drops. Here's the quarter. Stays. It's a good tip. Here's a good solid signal. To be honest with you, I can't quite remember if it's the nickel number, but it sounds like a good target to me. Like it could be a ring or a nickel. It could potentially be a square tab or something like that too. But it seems to be a pretty symmetrical sounding target. I'll let you have a listen. Sounds good that way. Sounds good this way. We're going to check this one out. Should be on the tip of the coil. Yeah. It's got a good size. It's a small target. The small stuff is usually good. Or we'll see. Send some rocks. Ground is dry. Try not to make a mess. Ah, yeah, that's a square tab number. Interesting. Here's a target that I suspect could be in the nickel range. Like I said, I can't remember my nickel number. I think it might be 68. So, have a listen to this. It's a clean sounding target, whatever it is. Let's check it out. Small target, or it appears to be. And of course, doing little plugs. Don't want to dig deep today. The ground's so dry. Don't want to make a mess. Should be right here. Square tab. This is an interesting signal. This is in the gold ring range. Doesn't sound too deep. Definitely a clean signal. Appears to be the right size. Maybe a few rocks. Huh. What do you know? It is a nickel. Interesting. Here's another somewhat interesting signal. I don't know what to think about it. There's some trash around it. I'll just let you have a listen. It sounds good. It's like I'm getting a little double bleep, so it might be like really close to the surface, which means it's small. Over here to the side, there's some what appears to be foil trash. Let's check it out and see what it is. Yeah, that double bleep gave it away. It's very close to the surface. Huh. Nothing special. Square tab. Thought maybe I'd go through a few targets, let you hear what it sounds like when I'm out here searching, and I'll try to give an explanation of what I think the target is. And you know, I could be wrong. You know, I could be right, but you know, these are the things that I'm passing up, and this is what the ground sounds like out here, and this is what the Deus sounds like when it's doing its thing. So here we go. Hey, a 95. That's good, right? You hear it's just struggling though. You know, that's not a good signal. let's check it out. Oh, that's a bottle cap. Oh well, let's go on. You hear that? That's iron. Could be a bobby pin, nail, something like that. That's holding its signal, but it's probably a zinc penny. I didn't want to dig for a zinc penny in this hard ground. As you can see, it operates relatively smoothly. Otherwise, keeping the program wide open and listening to everything without discrimination gives you an idea of where the trash is at and where you might want to focus. Or, you know, because where the trash is at is where the people were. And of course, right now I have it set to a setting to where we're not picking up very deep objects. Now, you know, there's tons of deep objects out here too, I'm sure, but the ground is way too dry. And I'd make way too much of a mess to try to dig them up right now. I would come out here after a rain or something, after the ground moistens up a little bit, but not right now. You know, my guess would be that was foil. Could be whatever it is a small object. It's probably a gum wrapper balled up in a ball. Trash object. Bottle cap type object. Now keep in mind, it could be wrong. That might have been the most expensive diamond ring in the world, but I doubt it. More gum wrapper type object. That's interesting, but it's a little too deep for today. I'll save it for another day. Probably foil trash. It doesn't have a sharp ping like it would if it was an earring. Kind of smudgy sound. Makes me think of a balled up piece of foil. Now that's got a poppy sound to it. Actually, it's right here on the surface. This is an idea of what that signal was. You can see it's just a piece of gum wrapper. So, kind of gives me an idea that I was correct in assuming what the other things were. But, you know, it's all about what you want to dig. So here's another 28 signal, and you can see it's part of a, you know, protein bar wrapper or something like that. Got the little nutrition facts on it and whatnot. So that's why I'm ignoring those signals. A lawnmower comes through here and wreaks havoc on any kind of trash. Makes all sorts of little pieces of trash. Reminds me of like chaff coming out of the back of the aircraft for foiling radar detection. Too low of a number. Could be something good. Just not interested. Foil. But again, the reason I listen to those things is so I can find out, you know, where the activity is. It doesn't bother me. Some people may choose to tune them out, you know, with discrimination and whatnot, and notch settings, which is perfectly fine. I just like to hear everything. But that's what a majority of this hunt has been like so far. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. I'll turn it back on if I find something interesting. Here's an interesting signal. It's not quite clean like I would think a nice ring would be. The signal is kind of somewhat smudgy, but I'll let you hear it. In a different direction. I would guess maybe a broken pull tab or a square tab if it's not a ring. It's pretty close to the surface. I might can get a double bleep from it. So let's check it out. Relatively small, good size, you know, ring size. It's not right on the surface. this ground is dry. Okay. So, very dense, compact object. It's aluminum from a can. It's worth checking out. Could have been a fat gold ring. Here's another good signal. It's pretty promising. It sounds clean. Stay steady. Got a little double beat close to the surface. We're going to check it out. See what it is. I see it. Balled up aluminum. Those are the ones you're looking for, though. That's the signal. Interesting signal. The ground is so dry. Nickel. It's a lot similar to the one before. Let's see what it is. Still in the hole. I think it's loose. Nah. Square tab. Here's a potential quarter. Doesn't sound real shallow. Let's dig it up. Again, very dry ground. A few rocks. Quarter. State quarter.